Hello and welcome to today's video. So a lot of us are familiar with this refill. This is the LAMY M17. This is their standard ballpoint refill and comes in a huge range of pens. If you buy a Safari, Vista, All-Star, LX, Studio, Emporium, LAMY 2000, any of those ballpoint pens, you are going to get this refill. They make a separate refill for things like the Pico, as they do for their multis, but in their standard range of ballpoint pens, the M16 has been what they have used for a long time. And it's okay. It's okay. Like, you know, it gets the job done. I've always found it a little bit grippy. I've always found it a little bit sort of inconsistent. And I think we've always all wanted something a little more. I am a massive fan of the LAMY ballpoint in terms of the actual pen. This is the Logo Plus, and I think this pen model is a really awesome everyday use ballpoint pen in terms of the body of the pen, and I have a bunch of these guys. In fact, the LAMY Logo was the very first LAMY pen I ever got. And so like I always carry a Logo or a Logo Plus. One I've been carrying a lot recently is this really cool apricot orange version. I think it's fantastic, and I never lose it because it's bright orange. It's high vis. LAMY recently were bought out by Mitsubishi Pencil, who own Uniball, and they introduced the M17 Jetstream refill. Now, these were primarily only available in Japan, and they came on their own and also in some pens. So when like the Coral Sunset and the Dark Dusk special editions were released, they did Jetstream inside versions of that, which is so cool. One of my everyday carry pens in the last little while has been the LAMY 2000 ballpoint. The 2000 is one of my favorite pen models across the board. Fountain pen, rollerball, mechanical pencil, and ballpoint. And so when the M17 refill came out, I knew I was going to get them and try them out, and I put one in here. When I made my review of this pen, I mentioned the M17, and I got two of them. I got a fine and an extra fine. This is the packaging of the fine, and so I put them in two of my favorite pens. Now, in this blue logo, I have the original M17. Now, I will say, I only have the mediums in my collection at the moment, whereas I got the fine and the extra fine in the Jetstream because I think they are great size refills for ballpoints. I prefer my ballpoints slightly finer, and also like the Jetstream refill writes really, really well in a finer tip. So let's do some writing. Something you hear super rarely on this channel is today we are writing on moleskin, but I have a reason for that, and that is I actually quite like the moleskin for ballpoints. I think it's a nice enough paper for ballpoints. I would never use fountain pens or heavy roller balls or anything like that. But, you know, a good pencil or a good ballpoint pen on moleskin paper, nothing wrong with it. And so I have a little selection of moleskin paper notebooks. I thought, why not? So the first thing I'm going to do is write with the original M16 refill here. So I should also say the ones I keep in my collection, the ones I use like this one, are ones that write well. They don't always come as consistent as this. And we're yet to see whether the Jetstream ones will. But you have to say, Jetstream refills in the past, traditionally on other pens, are all pretty consistent and pretty great. Like legitimately probably one of the best refills going around. But you can see this one writes okay. The feel on the page is a little sort of oily, or not oily, sort of like grippy. It's smooth, but it's kind of like tacky or something. So it's not a fast writing pen like, say, a rollerball or a fountain pen. But when you get into the M17 refills, let's start with the extra fine. This is in the LAMY 2000 ballpoint pen. This is the black extra fine size. This writes very smooth. It's very crisp, but it's got a great free flow of ink as well. You can see it's slightly darker than the LAMY, and even in that extra fine, it's slightly darker than the LAMY. But what you notice, and I've been writing with these for, I think 2 days now, so not extensively, but consistently, is that it's a much more concentrated sort of pigment on the page. You can see, I'll show this up close once I've done the writing with the fine one as well, but it's a very nice consistency. It's smooth. It really elevates these pens to a level that the pen body kind of deserves. It's beautiful. Like, we were all waiting for these refills to happen, and I'm so glad they have. So you can see, if I come up close on that, you've got the M16 original medium in the middle, and then the extra fine and the fine, they're considerably darker black. It's a much more consistent black colored ink refill, and I'm all for that. In terms of things like smudging, so the M16 smudges a little bit there, you can see. The Jetstream, nothing. So the Jetstream refill has been a long-time favorite of a lot of ballpoint users, and with good reason. Consistent, readily available, not inexpensive. I will say that. Like, so the M16 refill you can buy in Australia for, you know, sort of $12, $13, maybe $14, depending on where you go, Australian. The Jetstream refills, they were $11 US, which is like markedly higher, shall we say, than the price of the M16 refill, but it is a much higher quality refill as well. So, you know, you get what you pay for, and having, if you've got a pen like the LAMY 2000 ballpoint, which is a fantastic pen, why wouldn't you want the best refill in it you can get? So that's what I've done. And I'm going to continue to do. Every time I make an order with Jet pens or similar websites, I'm just going to buy extra refills because, you know, they're fantastic. Jetstream refill for the LAMY M17. Absolutely love it. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. Please like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you'd like to support the channel, I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.